G'day YouTube, my name's Lance and welcome to Bundy Bear's Shed. In the office today, normally on a Monday I'm at home doing videos and working on tractors and trying to keep the channel going, but this weekend it just hasn't worked out like that, so Monday morning I'm in the shop. Still got my glasses on, I forget I have them on. They're me big googly ones for on the screens here. I can see all the screens without worrying. If I put like my shed ones on, my smaller ones, well, I can see part of my screen and not the lot. So I got these big fellas done, and they're just great. I can see the whole screen clearly, the whole thing. So these stay at work most of the time, but yeah, they're a good thing. It was worth doing. The weather report. Well, it's bloody hot and muggy. Yeah, yesterday I was trying to get a little bit done around home yesterday, and man, in the morning it was, I think it was 32 we got to at home, but in the morning it was really muggy. Then in the afternoon we got a breeze, but it was a fairly dry breeze. Today we're probably 29, 30, which isn't too bad, but the humidity is what really rattles your chain. I had a look earlier in the day and they reckon we'll have 82% humidity this afternoon. So it's 6 in the morning, actually 6:30 now. I'm in the shop because I've got business to do. I've just got stuff I've got to organise. So the whole weekend didn't quite go as planned. Pardon me, had a little bit of asthma, so with the humidity that comes in sometimes. So yeah, I mentioned last week or week before that I might go and have a look for a ute and upgrade the ute if I can and things like that. And you can hear that. I don't even hear that. That's a fan on the computer. This Lenovo computer's got a noisy fan on it. And always has that, but yeah, not to worry. And so I've been flapping my gums about getting the ute, and I didn't know whether I would or I wouldn't. And then I thought, oh, no need to make a decision until next week, next year I mean, February, March next year, and then that'll give me time to have it before the 30th of June for the tax, because with the COVID thing, the government brought out a thing that you can claim 100% of an asset straight away. So normally you'd buy a ute or a vehicle for your business, or a lathe or a milling machine or a bit of equipment for your business, and you would depreciate it over so many years depending on how you worked it all. So say you bought a lathe for $10,000, well, that would get depreciated over 4 or 5 years, and so you'd be able to claim some of that against your income each time. But with the COVID, to try and stimulate the economy, the Australian government's brought out a thing where you can have up to $150,000 spend on equipment. It must be new, not used, and you can claim that this year, this financial year. So if you've been having a good year, you can go and spend some money. That comes straight off the top of your profit, 100% depreciation this year. And so anyway, I've been looking at it and looking at my figures for the business and thinking, we're probably doing okay, and you know, perhaps I should look at it. And anyway, because it was on my mind, I had a look at a few ads for utes and things like that, and I thought, I said to Jude last week, I was like, I'm just going to ring the accountant up and have a chat to the accountant about what we should be doing there. And so we rang the accountant and had a yarn, and they said, yeah, you need to jump onto that. And I said, well, you know, can we afford it, and do we need the tax benefit? You know, we're making enough money that we'll get a benefit off that. And she said, yeah, but she said, you've got to have it done by the 31st of December this year. And I said, oh, isn't that the 30th of June next year? She said, no way. She said, it hasn't been changed. You've got to have that vehicle in the business working, fully registered in the business working by the 31st of December to claim it. So I thought, shit. So I said to Jude, oh, we better jump onto this. So, and yeah, women, they don't like cars much. She said, no, nothing wrong with the old ones. Oh, no, there isn't. But anyway, we just what we had to do. So I'd had my eye on a V8 Land Cruiser, and look, they're a tough thing, primitive bloody heap of shit really, but well, look, they've got bucket seats, they haven't got a floor console, they haven't got a screen on the dash, they don't have steering wheel controls, but they have a V8 motor, they only come in manual, not automatic, and they're tough. And look, might be 90%, but a lot of Australian farmers out west have these Land Cruiser utes, and they have them for reliability, toughness. It's a beam front axle, not a front wishbone. So the ride, oh, you know, the ride's up to shit a bit, but by the time I put toolboxes and that on, it'll be fine. So, so look, they're a basic ute. The 4.5 litre V8's in Australia. I suppose it's like that around the world. When you look at Toyota and you hop down into it, they call it military spec. So, so they are tough. And there's a GXL in Australia, and it comes with alloy wheels, front and back diff locks. Cruise control, I think that's as flash as they get. Oh, and it's got a clock now. For years they didn't even have a clock. So, look, they're a primitive thing. You're not going to be cruising around in luxury. You're going to be cruising around in something that'll do the job, that'll be tough, and it'll tow me tractors to shows, it'll take the caravan out bush, and Jude and I want a bit of time off next year to do a bit of travelling around Western Queensland and things like that, so it'll be fine for that. So I went in and had a talk to Toyota, and we worked out what they give me for the trade, and and I said, okay, well, and with business, even if you can pay for it, it's silly to pay for it. You use up your reserves, and you've got to go through the bank and finance it, and it's just, business is like a merry-go-round. You get on this bloody merry-go-round and you've got to stay on the bastard until you're finished. Then you can jump off and see what's left. But so I went in and got some prices, and they rang me back and they gave me a quote, a changeover quote, and it'll be this price, between this price and that price there somewhere. And I said, well, what do you mean between this price and that price? I'm not signing a contract unless I've got the price. You know, I'm not going to leave with an open checkbook. So they said, oh, well, if we've got to get one specially in a hurry for you from another dealership, well, you're going to have to pay the freight to get it here. And I said, you could blow that out, you blooder. And, so anyway, they've been going to give me figures, and so that was Wednesday. Then Wednesday evening they rang and gave me the changeover price. And then Thursday I said, I need some of this stuff in writing. Having a yarn to the bank, and they said, just get an invoice and send us the invoice or the order at least, or you know, the quote, and we'll work with that. And I said, okay. So on to them Thursday, and they rang through and again, and I said, look, I need this in writing. So nothing. So I rang them Friday, and I'll get to that this afternoon, Lee. So if it's not there Friday Saturday morning, you're there Saturday morning? I said, no, I'm not, but I'll come into the shop and check the emails and see how we go with all that. So so Friday I went in there to have another look, to talk to them. No one could talk to me, they were all busy. And I was looking at this Land Cruiser they had in stock, and I lifted the bonnet and I'm having a look, and the salesman come up and he says, oh, how you going? I said, yeah, good mate. He says, excuse me, I've got to take this for a test drive, and shut the door and drove off, left me standing there. So I thought, oh well. So I thought, well, I had the shits a bit. I thought I'll go around the other agencies in town and just see what's around. So I went to Coral Coast Ford, you know, the Ford Rangers. They're not really what we want, but I thought I'd better do due diligence and do that. I went across to Isuzu over the road for the brand new D-Max, and they also have the Dodge Ram, but I would have looked hard at a Dodge Ram, but they don't do a single cab. I don't want a dual cab for this job. I've got a dual cab. And I went to Mazda, and so I had a bit of a look around. Well, a lot of them actually can't supply. Mazda, there's a brand new Mazda BT50 based on the Isuzu chassis and all that sort of thing, but there won't be one in Bundaberg until February, maybe March next year. Ford could not even get me a ute, couldn't get one at all. And they said, no, there's just none available. They said March next year probably. So so I think the COVID's affected the vehicle manufacturing, but Isuzu had one ute left in stock, and they said, if you want that, you've got to give us a deposit now. And I said, oh, that's not going to happen, mate. So anyway, so Saturday morning I came in and no email, and I thought, up this, I'm going down to Toyota, and I'll go to Bundy Bear Toyota, and I'll just do this deal. I'll sit down and have a talk to them, do the deal, done, finished. Just so I can move on, because I've been spending a heap of time on this. And so I went in there Saturday morning, had a bit of a look around the ute, and this young fella comes along, can I help you? And I said, yes, so-and-so here. No, not there today. And I said, well look, I said, I need to talk to someone, I want to buy this ute, I want to sign the line today, get this finished with, because I don't want to spend half of next week buggering around with it too, I've got stuff to do. Oh, he said, I'll have to have a look. And he said, oh no, well the boss is away and we can't sign into what offers have been made and all that. So he rang the salesman. The salesman said he was going to be there, wasn't there? And, and so so I said, well, what can we do? Is there someone I can talk to? Can we do a deal? And I said, we've got the trade-in price for my Colorado and all that sort of thing. Can we do a bit of a deal? And he said, no, mate, there's no one here to do it. And I said, you're joking. And he said, no. I said, well, what if I walked off the street with my checkbook and just said, I want to buy that ute out there? He said, oh, we'll probably sort something, but because there's others in this deal, we can't do it. So he rang the salesman and that I was dealing with, and he wasn't coming in. And he said, I said, he was going to email me all the figures Friday or Saturday morning. And so this fella said to him about that, and he said, oh, well, tell him I'll get there Monday morning, I'll do it Monday morning. And I said, well, it's good to do what you say you're going to do. And he said, well, and I said, well, I want it, the bank's asking for it, and I want all my ducks in a row to give it to the bank early Monday morning, so it's there, so I can email it to them, so when the lady we deal with at the bank gets there, it's there, she's not chasing us for it. And he said, well, your bank won't be open till Monday morning anyway, so what's the hurry? So I had the shits then. I thought, you bastards, so bloody, I'll try and deal in town. So the nearest, down an hour south of us is Wide Bay Toyota at Maryborough. So I thought, up this lot, so I got on to Maryborough Toyota. They said, look, we haven't got stock, we're having trouble getting stock, but we can have you one on the second week of December. And what we're doing a GVM increase on it. So you can actually increase your GVM before you buy a vehicle in Australia, and it's recognised Australia-wide. If I just buy a vehicle out of a yard now, I can still get the GVM increase, still carry the same weight. It costs me $800 more, and it's plated for Queensland. And if I ever sold the vehicle interstate, well, they would have to get it re-tagged, which, look, it's probably not a concern to us, but I just like to get it all sorted. And the tray on the Colorado, on the ute, we got that, the toolbox is custom made for the tray on the ute, so now we've got to get a custom tray made for a bloody Land Cruiser. But anyway, so I got onto Wide Bay, and they said, oh, you probably should deal with your local Toyota agent. And I said, look, I'm trying to, but it's giving me the shits. Can you give me a price? And I said, this is what they've offered me for me ute. I said, I'm happy with that. They said, send a heap of photos down. So I sent a heap of photos down. They said, yeah, look, we'll stick with that. And within 2 or 3 hours, I had the paperwork back, probably 3 hours. The salesman had to run it past the sales manager and all that sort of stuff. And I had the thing back. It's probably a bit better deal than they were talking about in town here. I like white utes, because you ever notice on some of the other utes, the clear coat crazy cracks after a few years. So I like white, but anyway, he said, look, I can't get a white. He says, this ute's going to be silver. It's $545 extra for the metallic paint. And so we had a chat, and so I had to pay for the metallic paint, but then he's given me a dealer discount. So the paint cost me $545, and he gave me a dealer discount of $566. So so he said, look, all you got to do is give us a deposit, and this will start happening, and that ute will be yours locked away. So I said, okay. I said, look, I'll wait till Monday morning. I'll I'll talk to the bank again, I'll make sure all my ducks are in a row properly, and we'll go from there. So this morning I come into work, I've got to check a few, I've got stuff to do anyway, and I'm going to trot down into Toyota there, and if they don't sort it right there and then, I'm going to jump in the car, drive to Maryborough, an hour away, 100 kilometres away, I'll just buy you. I said to the lady at the bank, I said, while you're bugging around for my figures, I said, I'm just going to go and buy it. I said, I've got enough money in the bank to pay for it, and then you can sort me out. She said, yeah, all right. So yeah, that's why I'm in here today early. I'm trying to check emails, I'm checking the prices and buggering around, and I've got a little bit of stew, just this bit here, but on my four-wheel drive, on my Triton dual cab ute, it has a fridge in the back, and when we go camping, it's always a pain in the arse, because when you drive there it charges off the alternator, and we've got a voltage sensitive diode in it. It works well, but when we're camping, it's always a pain in the arse running a lead to it, or especially if it's a weekend camp. So I've got a solar panel to put on the roof, and the brackets were too high, but I covered that. I had a little walk around yesterday, but I went to put the solar panel on, and the brackets are too high, and by the time you have the cut down in the canopy, you know, just the aerodynamics, not that it probably have any. Yeah, that made the solar panel too high, so I waited till yesterday morning to race into Roadtech Marine in Bundy, and they got some stuff in there, but the Roadtech Marine, because on my collie, I've got 10mm ones, and I thought that's what I need, so I thought I'd seen them in there, but they look the same, but they're 25mm, so no advantage. So I came home after being in town yesterday morning and started making some. And I'm just in the early stages of doing that, and so yeah, just so Saturday morning I was in town trying to buy utes, cracking the shits and getting on the phone, buggering around. So Saturday I lost the plot up in the shed. I went up there, and I just can't work on anything up here at the moment. So I started on the solar panels, and then yesterday morning into town to get this stuff, couldn't get that stuff, back home, start making a panel, and yesterday it was 6 months since the old fella passed away, and so Mum came out home for the arvo, and she brought out some secateurs, and can you sharpen this and do that and something else, and I should have kept one of those grinders your father had, and I tucked it away, so here you go, look, I kept it, so I gave Mum a grinder back, and got that organised, got those things sharpened. I sharpened the secateurs that much I cut my finger. So you dopey bastard, eh? And yeah, it was just, by the time Mum was there for the arvo, then it was just hot yesterday, and so when Mum left late in the afternoon, I was up the back watering trees, and then today I'm in here, and I'm hoping to get home this afternoon early. You know, I've got to do a bit of mucking around town this morning with this ute thing, and I might have to run down to Maryborough yet and buy it, and pay a deposit and lock it in just to make sure we got one. And if there's any trouble there, we'll just run out to Kangaroo, which is 3 hours west. Or Black Toyota does a good deal too, I hear. So anyway, we're just going to work with that and see how we go. So I've actually haven't even put a spanner on a tractor this weekend. I just haven't been near them. I have taken a little bit of footage of how I went, what's happening with the solar panel, but that's it. So yeah, bugger all content this time. It's just one of those bloody things, getting this ute sorted out in a hurry now. So and we're gonna, they come with mags, but on the V8 Cruisers, the front wheel track is 100mm. When they put the V8 in, they brought the front out, but they didn't bring the back out, and the front track is 100mm, or 4 inches wider than the back track, which is just stupid. Anyway, so we're looking at the moment about offset rims. You can put the 0 offset at the front, and we're going to put, I think, a positive 50s on the back, and that'll bring the track right, because people say when you're out in this desert or on the beach and your front wheels are cutting the track, they reckon the back wheels you're sort of sliding one way or another all the time. And it is just a stupid thing. If you can make your track 100mm wider at the back, why not? So we're going to go and find a set of wheels today to sort that as well, get that organised. I've got a couple of quotes on the tray, so it's just running around town today and sorting the ute out, and hopefully I'm back home this afternoon to get a little bit done, but we'll just see. So there you go, that's my weekend. What there was of it. Yeah, I got Saturday Harbour at home, and then yesterday morning I did a little bit, but that was it. So that's it. So yeah, hopefully next week I can get up the back and bug around a bit more. And I got the back canopy off the Colorado. To trade it in, I've got to put the other one on yet. So we'll see how we go. So you'll probably see a bit of ute stuff coming up. We've got some plans for this ute. Once we get it, that's when we start spending. They're dear enough to buy, but we've got a list of stuff we're going to do to make it into a good solid tourer for Jude and myself in our retirement. And yeah, you'll see he's cut some capers hopefully. So we've got the GoPros and all, and we've got the GoPro mount, so when we're driving into country towns we're setting up with that. And so hopefully when we're not doing tractors, hopefully we can show the world a little bit of, I just see some movement here, and that's Judy on the camera. Oh, you can't see that. And now Alan's just turned up. And so yeah, hopefully we can show you all some of Australia in our travels. We're planning on 2 good holidays this next year. But I've got to get a ute sorted out in the meantime. So that's what's on my mind at the moment, a ute. They're starting to give me shits a bit, but anyway, that's alright. So anyway, look, thanks for dropping by. There's a little bit on the end here for what I'm up to with the Triton. And we'll catch you next week. Hopefully I've got a story next week where I bought a ute and bloody it's all organised, and while I'm waiting for it I can work on tractors. Catch you next week, eh? Thanks for dropping by. Well, look, here's the foreman. She's going for a lay down. But of our family car, it's a 2017 Mitsubishi Triton, and we've got a few goodies on it, and it's a really good 4-wheel drive. I really rate it as a 4-wheel drive. It goes a lot of places. It's got a system in it where you can run all-wheel drive, 2-wheel drive, or proper 4-wheel drive with a locked centre diff. So the 4-wheel drive system's pretty good. It's got an electric diff lock at the back, but today's exercise is fitting a solar panel to the roof of the canopy up here. Now, the reason we're doing that is in Queensland here, a lot of us run fridges, and each of my utes has got a fridge in it, and got a couple of cars going past. We're up the front today, and in the back, over the back there, we have an auxiliary battery that, as we drive along, I've set it up with a voltage sensitive relay, and as the charge comes up on the front battery, on your main start battery, it feeds power to the auxiliary battery, and then that in turn gives us power for the fridge. And also up the side there, a bit hard to see, up the side there we have phone charging and all that sort of thing. So it's always a battle when we go away that I'll just step back a little bit. When we go away, because I haven't got solar on that, I have solar on the collie and everything, and I've always got to try and run a lead here to keep the fridge going, or get a powered site or something like that, just to keep it all going. So we've bought a 110 watt solar panel, and today, or part of the exercise today, is fitting that. Now, I've got it on the tailgate, and it comes with these stainless steel brackets. Look, they're good brackets, good quality brackets, but when I sit it up on the roof, it sits up too high. So I'm going to head up into Road Tech Marine in Bundaberg shortly when they open, and I'll get a couple of solar panel brackets that drop it down. I've got them on the Colorado, and if we come out through here, we've got a bundle of wires up there. This is all coming off, but these little brackets here, they give me a 10mm gap under the solar panel, which is what we need. The other ones give us almost 20, so actually it's 25 or 27. So it's a little bit overcast today. The clouds it's looking a bit shitty. So I thought it was a good chance in undercover here. I can putter around here and yeah, climb up inside there, and we have a solar controller to go on. So that's a solar controller. It's only a little cheapy for this car. 12, 24 volts. It puts a constant 10 amps in. Now my fridge here, flat out, if it's the hottest hot day, flat out it draws, I can't remember if it's 1.9 or 2.1 now, but it's around 2 amps. So look, that'll be plenty. So if we can keep a little bit charged while we're driving, and like on a day trip when you're running around and you're doing shopping and all that, it's fine, but it's just for extended periods that this panel will come in handy. So I'll putt along, I'll try and bring you in on the interesting bits. Well, there you go. If we can zoom in there, you can see I've put some threaded rivets into the hole. Now if we zoom back out again a little bit, you can see my auxiliary battery is there, the fridge is there, and my little solar controller. Make it rhyme any old time. I'll come in there, hope it keeps its focus while we're doing it all. And they're 4mm, the threads. So I'll come around here, get the controller. Well, there you go, I got them started. Bloody things, I had to hop in there. And it's a 4mm thread, 4mm by 0.8 pitch, and the hole I had to drill through the side here to take the nut rivet was a 6mm hole for a 4mm nut rivet. Now, it occurred to me just before, some of you may know about the nut rivet, some may not. So I'll just do a dummy run on one for you. It's nice and tight. Just nip this one up again. Have a car going past, so that's just because we're up the front. Okay, so that's mounted in place. Now it's protected by the side here. When you look down, it's probably got half, 3/4 an inch. Because of the fridge and this here, nothing's going to come and hit there. Well, we hope at least. So that's the controller sitting there in its final position, and we'll now, I'll get a bit, where the wires come through there, I think I'll get a bit of twin core, stave a heap of wires. I'll try and get positive negative twin core and keep it all tidy behind there. So I'll come around the back and I'll show you how these nut rivets work. This is a kit I bought off eBay quite a few years ago. It's just a little toolbox. You can see how dusty it is. That's how long it's been hanging around my shed, but I don't use them a lot, but for something like this they're a good tool. Now these are all metric mine, but depending where you live you could probably buy imperial. Now we have aluminum ones, and we have steel ones, and in my instance here, going into steel, I could have used either steel or aluminium, but I was putting the bolt that I was putting through was a stainless steel one. So anyone that's had anything to do with stainless steel and aluminium, you know that they're arch enemies. And so I chose to put steel there to put a stainless bolt in, because yeah, stainless and alloy, they bite in. So how it works really is you have a look at that. Looks like your standard pop rivet gun that you'd all be familiar with, and depending on the size of the rivet, the size of the piece you would like to use, you have different size holes, you know, bosses with different size holes and different size pulling studs. So to do the 4mm one like we did, this is a left hand thread, so I like to just do that up firm with my fingers. There's a place for a spanner, but I never use it. I just do it up firm with my fingers. Now this fella here, he's a left hand thread once more, and then you take your rivet, and it's your normal thread, you just screw your rivet on there. And as a bit of a demonstration, I've got a beer bottle cap, so I've just popped a 6mm hole in the beer bottle, in the beer cap. Would probably show nicer if I did this way. So as I give that a bit of a pull, you can see the nut, and that won't go any further, that's just gone firm. So I let it go, then you screw the thread out, and there you go. You have a thread in a beer bottle cap, because everyone wants one of those. So the uses of these things are just unreal. There's a lot you can do. I've had this kit for ages and I don't use it half as much as I should. But that's just the versatility of it. If you need a little bracket on the fridge wall, fridge door or something, and you've got room behind for this little section here, you're okay. So here's another stainless bolt I have here. And there you go. So there's all shapes and sizes of them. Just a handy thing if you're doing a vehicle fit out. Those who watch my channel may or may not know we've got more vehicles coming. Another vehicle coming. And yeah, I reckon we'll get pretty excited with this. But that's just these, here's a little bit of an instruction here too on the hand rivet nut installation tool, and you can see there the thread sizes. This is metric, or that's imperial down here anyway, and the hole sizes you need to do them. So look, great little tool. Where is that little, there's a little circle piece here somewhere that I don't know what I've done with it, and it's a little spanner. You can see on that picture there with this little hook, you can use it as a spanner. But look, I choose not to do that. I find I don't have to, but I've never used any of the big heavy ones either. So there you go. Whenever you need to put a thread in your beer bottle cap, this is the tool for the job. Well, there you go. This is as far as I got yesterday. They're the original brackets that I spoke about that are too big. I took a drive into Road Tech Marine to get some more brackets, solar panel brackets, but the ones they had were just too high, like these ones. So, and when we look at the roof, that gap in the roof there, it just sticks them way up too high. So what I started to do yesterday was I got a bit of stainless sheet, and this was sort of folded back in here at 45, so I've bashed it all straight, and they need a lot of tidying up yet. But what we'll do, we'll make our own brackets and bring that solar panel right down. But I didn't really get a lot of time onto it yesterday. By the time I went to town and worked out they didn't have what I wanted, but I did buy this. I bought some stainless steel screws to go through the canopy here, but this little fella here, he's a 20 amp ammeter, really. Yeah, you can plug this into the system, so you can either plug this into a solar panel that you're punching into your batteries, or plug it into the back of your ute with an Anderson plug to run a fridge or something, and you can just keep an eye on your usage, your inputs and your outputs on a separate device. So I was looking at them on eBay and I thought, oh, I should get one of them. It'd just be interesting to see, you know, what goes in and out, just to have a look. And anyway, at Road Tech Marine they had them yesterday, so I lined up for one of them and bought some screws, but yeah, couldn't get the brackets, so that's it. But now it's Monday morning, and normally where I have Monday mornings in the shed working on tractors and filming, not today. I've got to head off and get into work and sort some of this vehicle stuff.